You told me all about your life and you're coming from Knocknamuckly and all of that. And we're going to just have a wee chat, and this is a camera.
Right.
Are you all right with that?
Yes.
A wee film?
I grew up in Lisburn at a place called Pond Park. It's a townland outside of Lisburn. I'm from Portadown, from out the Guildford Road, Portadown, called Lavachry.
So you were born in Tullyvallen, Newton Hamilton? Mm-hmm. It was your birthday on the 13th of September.
Exactly right.
1945.
That's right.
When in 1924 on the 23rd of June.
So what age are you going to be the next year?
100.
Are you looking forward to that?
Yes, because we're already storing up the bottles. Not right, Maya. The 9th to the 10th, 1917.
What age are you?
106.
When I'm older, I want to have hands etched with the details of my life, like a relief map at a primary school.
He was a good soul.
Your daddy?
Mm-hmm. Still remember him.
There were 4 of us, 3 sisters. Three sisters were the oldest, and my brother was the youngest.
I was one of 9. I had 6 sisters and 2 brothers. I was second youngest.
A big family, a busy house with all the children.
I was the youngest. I had 2 sisters and 2 brothers. There's 5 of us all together.
It was a very happy house. We loved each other.
It was just a wee parlour house, we called it, because we were posh. We had a parlour in Solway Street in the Newton Arch Road, Belfast.
At that age, there's a very little money. Mm-hmm.
2 bedrooms, one with 2 beds in it, with 3 girls in each bed. A bed settee downstairs where the 2 boys slept. And I think I was too young to remember my oldest sister being there. She was married when I was very young. I was a wee shy girl.
We went to church on Saturday night, and then on Sunday morning we got up and we had our picnic ready, and off we went. They were great days right now.
In through the bunny hole, round the big tree.
Up through the rabbit hole and off goes she. That's how to knit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We all crocheted on, knit on. And I suppose just the older people in the family, and there was an old auntie that lived with us. And I suppose she, would have helped me.
With mountains and rivers, so you can feel and see the faraway countries where I have visited.
Who was the busiest?
My father.
What was he doing? What kind of things did he do every day?
Well, the house, work, and the cows, yes.
And I guess he must have been in cutting the corn when it needed to be cut and gathering the potatoes.
Yes.
My mother was working in the house, made bread. Wasn't a day in life she didn't make bread. She had a roller and wheaten bread and soda bread. Cooked it then, and I suppose what you call a pot oven. And then we got a stove, and we thought we were landed then. I can see her getting plate up of bread, putting it on the board like that. I bet, but not as good as her.
We had 3 sons, Andrew, Colin and David. The boys all played football. We had a good old chat about that, about going to the football matches to see your sons. Did you enjoy that?
Mm-hmm.
Was he a kind dad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You said that to me, your parents were good parents.
They were, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was a good man. He was caring. He loved his children. Mm-hmm. Still remember him. Mm-hmm.
You grew up on a farm?
We were always asked to do something, but didn't mind. Sure, the time passes quicker if you're busy.
I worked on the farm. I milked cows by hand, got them out to the field, made sure they all got out, and then I'd have given them extra hay.
You told me you remember the cutting of the corn and the gathering of the potatoes,
Yes,
and it was a very busy home.
yes, sure was.
We'd always cows, and my mother would have made butter during the old, I don't know how she made it, but she made it anyway.
That was all they got when they were out. When they were out and came back into the barn, they went mad for the hay. They were all right, it takes you to watch them. I don't know how many there was.
People came for milk, for buttermilk, and for butter. Yes, to our house. I'd have eaten dairy there. You know, we're only about a mile out.
I think I had a couple, and this other fella had a couple, and another fella had a couple. Are you keeping that track? Many was that? Six.
Or half a dozen.
It was good, having plenty of room and hens and ducks and chickens and cows and horses. We took a couple of horses in my day.
And I just went out to them and with the milk and washed the cans and one thing and another. Always had dogs at home.
My two brothers on the farm. My other brother went to work in Portadown, and my father brought him home, and then he stayed on the farm too, and that saved him getting another man.
They made you live there and made you work. Experience blood vessels, fingers and stories, on shoulders around a heart, in other hands. Feels like we are back at school. That was a good long time ago.
I went to Mersey Street Primary School and then Ashfield Grammar School on Hollywood Road.
I went to Richmond School.
I liked it all. I loved school.
And I seen us going up Cahara Hill with three on the bike. Whoever was driving was standing on the pedals. You tried to do your best at school. I liked everything and anything.
Hockey, blattering a ball about the field, and netball. Those were the two games we played.
We got up in the morning and got ready for school, and Mother threw us out for the teachers coming.
Up the field, Eunice. After the ball, Eunice. She was the hockey teacher. Oh, but she was well, she was lovely.
And I have to say, you're very photogenic. All of your photos were... So we were trying on stuff out of the World War box, so that was like a man's hat and a woman's scarf.
Well, I can tell you, we spent the Blitz. We were all in the cloakroom. There had been 6, 7 of us, and we knew it was the Germans by the sound of their engines, sound of the planes. And when they went to Belfast, got over Belfast, they dropped flares. And the flares were as bright enough for us to read in Lisbon by the light of those flares they dropped on the city. Naturally, we were scared about listening to the noise of the Blitz. It made an impression on me because the poor people that had been bombed out in Belfast, they arrived in Lisbon. I think they didn't know where they were going, but they wanted to get away from the city. They were carrying what they could rescue, I suppose they could carry. And I remember seeing one woman, and she was carrying a bread binge, and in that was all she had left in life. And the children came with them, and there was a small orange hall that was near us. And they opened it, and we used to put the children to bed at night on the floor, wash them and put them to bed. We thought this was great fun. We also knew the serious side of it, you know, but I can remember that so well. I often wonder if they remember it. I'd love to meet up with some of them, you know. We were scared stiff. Really were.
I went to a party in a church in Newton Arch Road, and this creature came up beside me and said, "My name's Sammy Allen, I've no money, but if I had, would you come out with me?" How's that for an opening line? Real romantic. So I did, and he was my one and only boyfriend.
Ronnie and I were married. When were you married? 24th of June, 1965.
Probably the pictures, but I don't know, I remember which one. It could have been the Astoria, the Strand, the New Princess, the Pop, and all.
I married Crozier Ferguson.
I was 21, he was 23.
It was a nice wedding. I married in Seago Church. We went down south for a honeymoon. In those days, that was sort of a big thing, you know. You didn't go away to the Isle of Man or anywhere like that. Went down south. And I still keep friendly with those people in Dunleary. I was an inspector of taxes. Yes. And I don't mind if you walk out.
Where did I work first? Prices, yeah, it was a big drapery shop, you know, on the Albert Bridge Road. I worked in the office there.
I left school and went into the post office as a hello girl, a telephonist. And I was a telephonist all during the war. And I went to work in a grocery shop in the office called Gibson's.
This is you and your students.
And I went into nursing when I was 18, and that was my life after that. I was a midwife for a number of years. Started working in the Belfast City Hospital, and then I liked it, so I decided I would do midwifery. Stayed in midwifery for years, delivering babies at home and that sort of thing, you know. It's lovely. How could you not see a wee baby come into the world? I went to the City Hospital to train as a nurse so that we could go out as missionaries, but that never happened. And then when the war was over, the exams came back. So I did an exam and got it and moved into the clerical side, and it happened to be the revenue. So I spent my working life, you might say, in the inland revenue, and retired when I was 60, which was 84.
You told me you were a home economics teacher in Brownlow College and you won a teaching award, and that you were a very proud teacher, very proud of all your students.
The boss was very good, Mr. R.M. Woods, his name was. And we used to have to work at night with ration books and things like that. When we'd maybe worked 8 or half 8, he would just stoop down and lift you an apple and an orange. And you just thought you got a £5 note. Oh, Jesus, through the most pure heart of Mary, I offer you the prayers, works and sufferings of this day.
You attended Sunday school.
Very much.
That was a big part of your life, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I was Church of Ireland. He says, if you think I'm going back there where they're hopping up and down all the time, you've another thing coming. So I became a Methodist.
I thought the Lord wanted me as a missioner. And so I went to the convent, and they were very rewarding years, you know, but it broke my heart to leave. But I felt it wasn't right for me, you know. The influence of God on me, telling me himself that he didn't want me there, he wanted me somewhere else.
Well, I went to Sunday school to start with, and went to the meetings. I did teach Sunday school for years. It's the Gospel Hall.
Mm-hmm. And you told me you were brethren.
Huh?
Brethren. Your religion was brethren.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that Sundays were very busy.
Yes, very much. Going to Sunday school and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Rich Hill Presbyterian I had a brother and a sister, Dora and Nevin, and I went to church with them. We were very good in church. Mum and Dad were there too, Archie and Sadie. After church, you went home and you got your dinner, roast beef and potatoes and vegetables. I enjoyed that, ate it all up.
For all the intentions of your divine heart, praise, honour and glory be to you forever and ever. Amen.
On railways, waving, stroking along the walls of a house. A house far away, the kind of house I want, are full of history and geography. After many years of travelling, a safe home.
Maybe it's not all that interesting for you, is it?
Hands, we painted your hands. These are your handprints and then some details. Brilliant, isn't it? Look, these are all your stories.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Hello.